Okay, so today's topic is BASE, BASE, boundaries, accountability, standards, and expectations. This again is a weekly video show for women leaders, and you are in the right place, right place, right place. If you are someone who is progressing in your workplace, progressing in your social environment, progressing in your family, so you want to just grow your leadership with confidence. I'm amazed at how many people are struggling by themselves when sometimes you just need to reach out, right? And so the question I have for you is, do you have boundaries? Boundaries. You want to just equate those to uh, get off me, right? Boundaries. Do you have boundaries? Do you have accountability? Do you hold yourself accountable or have accountability partners, some measures in place? Do you? Do you have accountability? And standards. Do you have standards? And do you have clear expectations? Before we go, I'm going to go ahead and, hey, Carrie, I see you. I see you. I'm going to go ahead and I want to share this to start a watch party. I learned how to do a watch party. Can you believe that? That is so cool. So I'm going to first share it there, and I'll put it on my thing. I'll ask you to do the same thing, sharing yours also, right? So let's do that, and we want to share. So let's do the weekly better you. Hold on. Better you video show. Yeah, so we're going to do that. We're going to share it inside of, where's my, hold up. I know, be patient with me because this is going to be really good stuff, right? We're working through, let's say the community. Where's my better you? Okay, there we go. So we're going to start there, and we're going to start on, oh, I think I did it. Okay, good. Here we go. So there we go. We're going to just back up for a second. And so we're talking about boundaries, right? Asking you to have boundaries, accountability, standards, and also expectations. And so all right, I got the watch party set up, but I, quite frankly, I still can't see your comments, and that's what I wanted to do. So I'm still learning, y'all. So you have, I'm Angela Odom, and I'm the founder and CEO of the Better You Project. And this is our weekly video series for women leaders. And I want to, first just make the connection for establishing your base and while you are developing your SMART goals. And why is this? So when you start taking action, and you experience some level of success, you can actually live with that, because sometimes we're like achieving and we're like, oh my God, this is too much. It's not what you expected, right? So that's what we're going to talk about today. So I'm Angela Odom, and so military service was a pathway for me, and of course, at this point, I am moving towards helping you establish, develop, create your leadership skills with confidence. And it's based on the experience I had, the early part of my life, right? So we have great news just coming out with a new book. The first book, of course, was a military memoir, and it's on Amazon. This is the second one, and it is Camouflage Sisters, Leadership Through the Eyes of Senior Military Women Leaders. So I'm one contributing author. I wrote one chapter in this really amazing book with women military veterans. You can get your copy at angelaodom.com/books. So today, let's go ahead and get in it. Let's jump in this real quick. So this is what we're talking about today: boundaries, accountability, standards, and expectations. And it's in relationship to your SMART goals. And so there's a 6-step process for developing your SMART goals. And I'm not sure, some people just jump right into goals, right? They're just like, hey, I want this, I'm going for it. It may not be the most productive way. So this 6-step process, you can, put this in your own, um, you can put this in your own kit bag, so to speak, right? So number 1 is know yours and your organization's vision and mission. So the vision, of course, is we're talking about the future, and then the mission is what, who, and how. And so for example, for my company, the vision of the Better You Project is to see every woman confident in their leadership abilities, in the way they walk and talk and show up in the world. That's the vision I have for the Better You Project. And of course, what we're doing and who and how, we are providing training and other services to emerging women leaders, and we do that through workshops, and we do it through speaking abilities and training. We do one-on-one coaching also, right? And so the second step is to understand how you support your organization's vision and mission. So you might be the team lead or department head. You're the person in the position of authority or influence within that organization. So if you're leading people, then you need to know how your team supports the organization's vision and mission. Make sense? Number 3 is to develop 3 to 5 goals. Like, what do you want, right? What do you want? And want to look at a way to establish your goals is using the acronym SMART. And most of you have heard of this before. So SMART, specific, making sure your goals are specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and they're time focused. And so you just take a deeper look at it, and you're like, well, what exactly is it I want? Do I have the tools that's necessary? Measurable. Like, how am I going to know if I actually hit the goal? So you got to have some way to measure success. And then, can I really get this based on the constraints and tools and other resources that I might need? Basically, if it's attainable, what steps are you going to take to get there? Then is it realistic? You might be talking about realistic as it relates to a time frame, or is it realistic, for example, for me at this point in my life? I might say, you know what, I want to be the CEO of Apple. Well, shut your big old mouth. Not going to happen, right? And then so timely, you've broken down your goals into steps that's going to actually help you get there. That whole thing of how you're going to eat the elephant, like one bite at a time. So SMART goals. So you want to establish 3 to 5 of those. And then number 4 in the 6-step process is determining the gaps. So if you're not reaching your goals, then stop. Go back and figure it out. If you are reaching your goals, continue. So number 5 is to monitor them. You can set up some kind of recurring updates. If you have a team, then you're getting feedback from your team. You establish what that might be: weekly, monthly, quarterly. You want to identify progress and shortfalls. That makes sense, right? And then number 6 is, evaluate. And you good with your goals? Are they still, where you want to go? This is how you want to get to achieve the goal, right? And so just type yes or no if you have a process to develop your goals. So yes or no, yes or no, yes or no, yes or no, if you have a process to develop your goals. And so now we go back to establish your base while developing your SMART goals. And again, this is so that you can you take action that leads to the success you can live with. And so you want to type yes or no if you have an effective base already established. And remember, we're talking about base as in boundaries, accountability, standards, and expectations, right? So yes or no. Comments, I'm looking for some comments. And so let's start with boundaries and just get clear understanding of what we mean by boundaries, right? So we're looking at boundaries, looking at 3 principles for establishing boundaries. And you can come up with your own principles or your own framework, because this is what this is, right? A way to understand it or to have a shared understanding. So 3 principles. One is scheduling events, activities on a calendar. For me, it allows me to breathe because, quite frankly, I say yes a lot. And so when it's on a calendar, I can see, oh, hold up, I have a conflict already, so I'm not able to support you in that. Or maybe we can do it another week or another day. And so when you schedule your events, and then that's powerful, actually. And number 2 is the concept, right, of your emergency is not necessarily my emergency. You want to have some boundaries. So somebody might say on your team, or maybe one of your peers, or someone in your household or in your social setting, hey, yeah, I only have like a little bit of gas in my car. Can you come pick me up? What? No, no. Take an Uber, that kind of thing. So you want to say your emergency is not necessarily mine. That's not what actually comes out of your mouth, but understanding how you're going to conduct yourself. And then the other principle would be allow yourself an exit strategy, right? And so if you've been attending a meeting, because we have all kind of meetings, if you've been attending a meeting for months and months and months, and you recognize that whether you are there or not, you add no value, or you're not being listened to. Or there may be someone else who might benefit from being in the meeting, right? And so you want to allow yourself an exit strategy. So establish some boundaries right there. Oh, by the way, if you're the one that is leading a meeting like that, you recognize people around a table, or you're doing a Zoom kind of thing, or not adding value, then you need to take a look at that anyway. So boundaries, that's B, right? And we're all looking at base as it relates to our goals. Something to consider is that boundaries don't limit your possibilities. They actually help you spend time on what's most important in your life, right? Move you closer to your goals. And for me, really, it gives me freedom. I need to live my best life because I want to make sure that I have things on my day-to-day, prioritized, and they are aligned with what I want to achieve, right? Okay, makes sense? So I want you to just type in yes or no if you have established boundaries effectively, right? Yes or no, just type them down there, right? And so now we move to accountability. And I'm looking right here because, quite frankly, my technology skills are lacking. so I'm going to get to this page and make sure I can see your comments because I want to. And here we go. We're still talking about accountability, so hold what you got. Okay, here we go. To make sure I can see your comments. Okay, so Carrie, you say you can hear me and see me. Then Grello, I see you, say hello. Hey, y'all. All right, thanks for being so patient with me. So let's keep it going. So we're talking about accountability, and let's just look at that. So the truth is accountability is the key to reaching our goals. We can have all these dreams and I want to be able to run in that next marathon. Well, guess what? That's a dream because I need to hold myself accountable for training for that, right? Signing up for it, focusing on it, running it, and completing it. So accountability is the key to reaching our goals. And so we say, what is accountability? And it is akin to responsibility to achieving the goal. That's what it is. And how you set up that responsibility is, making yourself accountable. And why does it work? Because we're social beings. And, if we're reaching out to other people, putting ourselves out there, then, we don't want to be embarrassed. So sometimes we don't want to let others down. We want to be a part of a team, especially if your part of this goal impacts like a larger process or project, right? And so it works because we're social beings and we have conscience and we have a need to achieve, right? So there are 5 types of accountability. You know, tell a friend, join an accountability group, use technology, hire a coach, or write it down. And for me, you know, so boy, you can plug in all kind of things on your phone. This iPhone here is amazing. I just plug in stuff left and right. So for my, you know, just to wake up in the morning, right? So my thing at 7 a.m. every morning, it wakes up and the alarm goes off, and it's written in there is, typed in there is, good morning, gorgeous. So that right there is a use of technology to have me responsible to get up on time to get to where I need to go, right? You can tell a friend or tell, some people have like social different groups, and you just put yourself out there. Join an accountability group in the workplace or not. You might just say, hey, like if you're studying for your certification or working towards that, you might establish a group of people to meet. Y'all can meet at Panera's Bread or something, meet at the somewhere off-site, and then you go through and pump one another up as you are focusing on that, right? Well, if you're studying for your GRE or whatever it might be. And you want to hire a coach, you could do that. And a coach could be, you know, for example, if you're working towards your jump shot, right? For example, your kid's jump shot. You might hire that kind of coach, or the coach could look like someone who helps you with public speaking. That might be a coach, or that coach could be, you know, various things. So it's not your traditional sports coach. And oh, by the way, write it down. That helps you maintain accountability. I have big old Post-it notes all over the place helping me with that, right? So whatever your system is, it might work for you. So type yes or no if you have effective accountability measures in place. So yes or no. Go ahead, type it in there. I'm looking for your comments. Yes, yes, yes. No, no, no. All right, there you go. And so you want to, you know, keep in with the BASE, B-A-S-E, or on standards, right? And so we're talking about standards as they relate to our goals. And so standards, you know, you're talking written definition, limits. It's a rule. It could be like anything that's approved or monitored for compliance. And so when we're talking about standards, we're talking about compliance. We're talking about how we expect things to be, right? And so, for example, if you're in a hospital, the standard of cleanliness is really a thing, right? So let's just go back, and I'll give you an example. I had initially, you know, served for 27 years in the Army, and when I first got out, I had to have get my son knew a doctor and myself and all that kind of stuff. And so we had a doctor, had him, went to the doctor's office, and it wasn't clean, you know, just to be blunt. You know, look around just like, well, man, they didn't clean those face boards over there, looks like in decades. And you go to get your blood pressure take, or they want to take some blood, you're like, I don't know about this place. So it changed because of the standards of cleanliness in that place, right? Now my son's at a different doctor's place, and guess what? The place, when you walk in there, just like, ooh, I like it. It smells in here. And oh, by the way, the customer service is amazing. The standard of, you know, interaction and engagement with people, their payment process and procedures, they don't seem desperate like the other people do. So it's standards, right? So that makes sense. That makes sense, right? And so type in yes or no if you have a clear understanding of your own standards, you know, what it is you will accept as far as compliance and how people will treat you and engage with you. So we're still talking about BASE, right? And we've already gone over SMART goals. And so we're talking about expectations. Expectations. This is a good one right here, right? So really expectations, that's about a belief that's in your head, right? That's what you believe might happen in the future. Those are, and they're based on, you know, Social contracts is based on your past experiences and also based on your ego. Mine too. And they can be realistic or unrealistic. You can definitely, I see you, Grello, yes, yes. Okay, I see you, Carrie, yes. So you can definitely have high expectations. And that does not translate into behavior, especially of other people. And so, for example, you might be in their office setting, and you're the team lead or the director or the department or the CEO, or whatever it is, right? And so you say when you get in there, good morning. Oh, by the way, Joe or Josephine, I like to have that 100 page slide package in my inbox by 3. So you go about your day because you expect for that to happen based on your authority, right? You expect for that to happen. And about noon, right, noonish, Joe or Josephine is getting up for lunch, and you look, and there's no proof that any work has been done. And so at 3, when you expect to see that in your inbox, and quite frankly, you probably would have expected it earlier, nothing. So just because you believed it would happen, that necessarily translate into the behavior of that happening, right? So sometimes our expectations are realistic and sometimes they're unrealistic because they're not backed up by anything than what's in our head, right? And although we can communicate clear expectations, does not translate into actions. So that's what I want you to get from expectations. You got to do more than expect. You got to put some things in place ahead of time for action to occur. And so all of this is, we're talking about base, is in relationship, in conjunction with our goals. And so I want you to just type yes or no if you have an effective base established, boundaries, accountability, standards, and expectations. Yes, 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 no, no, no. So, and we're not really, we're almost about to close this thing out, right? So I want to know, do you see the connection between the 6-step process for developing your SMART goals and BASE? I mean, is it clear to you that you need to have, first of all, just not, I want to do this, I want to achieve this, but a process for developing your goals? That's the first part. And then have a connection between, your boundaries, accountability, standard, and expectation. So that the action you take leads to the success that you can live with. And so sometimes you see people, they are, in our eyes, we perceive them to be successful, and they are miserable, right? Because they are like, you know what, I want that corner office. And they get over there and they're just like, oh my God, I need to get home. My kids don't even know me, right? Or you're like, I wanted to go out, I just want to go walking outside today and recognize and acknowledge the color purple, right? I just want to go out because it feels good to be out in the air. And thanks, Grelly says crystal clear. But guess what? So you want to be able to just set some goals that you can live with. That's the whole point of this. That's the whole point of this. So base. Ooh, I like it. I like it. I like it. I like it. All right. So that's our topic for today. And we will, like every Tuesday at noon Eastern Standard Time, here I am, Angela Odom, founder and CEO of the Better You Project. I'm going to introduce different topics for you, right? And my clear expectation, see, my expectation, my vision is that every one of you walks a little taller and you're more confident, as you show up. So that's what this is. And if you have some other topics that you want me to talk about or discuss or do that, then hey, drop them down there and we'll see what we can do. And I just want to remind you of the opportunity for you to go ahead and pre-order your copy of Camouflage Sisters, Leadership Through the Eyes of Senior Military Women Leaders. I'm so excited. The book would actually be published in September. We're taking pre-orders right now. And you just take a look at what's on the page, and I think you're going to be blessed. So one of the opportunity for you is to jump into the SOAR Leadership Confidence Group Coaching Program. So it's a comprehensive step-by-step curriculum with 8 training modules. And we'll do 10 weekly group coaching calls via Zoom. And guess what? You get some homework, right? So you be able to do a little role playing, some hot seats. We got some templates and checklists and resources, all that kind of stuff. Nothing that's going to be overwhelming. But if you are, if this particular training, like this weekly video series, if this resonates with you, then guess what? We're going to take a deep dive into developing your own leader development plan, right? Creating it for you. So just go to angelaodom.com/leader plan. And in the meantime, just know that I'm rooting for you. And with that said, I'll see you next Tuesday. Y'all take care.